Oliek, but it's Scotland with the possession. James Johnston in that starting lineup. Blake just straightens himself now. On the inside is Johnson in support. Has he got the pace? He's been tracked down by Kenya on that far outside, but Johnston opens the scoring for Scotland. 30 seconds on the clock, opening score.
The Twickenham crowd boos that one in traditional English manner. James Johnson showcasing his pace to outgun and the chasing a Monday, but great restart from Scotland, all about securing the ball, making sure they keep hold of it and going to their absolute default, which is a passing game. They play with lots of shape and structure, and just speaking to Callum McRae before this tournament, it's really been a focus for them this week. They're looking to have opportunities through the middle, as you're seeing here, by having the width in their game. James Johnson, underrated play for me at times, Scottish. Sometimes he's not used particularly as well as he could be with this Scottish team, but definitely someone who's a good finisher, and he will always hit a nice outside break to showcase his pace.
Yeah, was once contracted to the Glasgow Warriors, plays for the Curry Rugby Club in Edinburgh. Superb kick-off on the far side, it's collected by Damien Hoyland, and Scotland. Double trouble for Kenya, that's the second try for Scotland.
Celebrating with the team, a team effort. Restarts are one of the most practiced skill in sevens rugby. Once you score, you get to restart the ball, so straight away you can put yourself back on the front foot. And you're seeing perfect execution from Wright, who's kicking now.
White adds the additional 2 points, Scotland out to a lead. And what athleticism here, precision and accuracy.
Hoyland all the way, takes the ball slightly on his chest, but his hands were still up to get in front of the receiver from Kenya there. Exactly the same happened Kenya against Portugal. Their restarts weren't on point, and as a result, they went behind very early.
Well, of course, you mentioned that one, Rob, and Kenya were 17-5 down at half-time, but came back to win the match 22-17, but Scotland retaining the possession. Well, that was off a Kenyan boot there, Samuel Oliek.
It's an interesting one when you preview playing against a Kenyan team, because you know they're going to try and make it an arm wrestle, they'll try and slow it down. People go to Kenya to see the big five, but in this Kenyan team, they've got the big three. And if you let the likes of Kayangi, Amonde and Ambaka into the game, once they get the ball, people like Collins and Njeri will pick you apart with their running. Keep the ball away from Kenya.
Riddle takes them all, the ball received. This is White to Johnston. Switch play and wraparound play from Blake. Didn't find his man in White, and Scotland retreating here. Pressure coming up on Hoyland, who gets the pass away to Johnston. The tackle came in there from Oscar Iodi. Scotland attacking. This is Jamie Farndale. Farndale's got plenty of gas, and Jamie Farndale, he takes on Collins and Njeri, but Njeri, has he held him up in the end goal area? It's Njeri who comes away with the ball. What a try-saving tackle that was for Collins and Njeri.
You agree?
People will be watching Collins and Njeri hoping he's going to get over the other side of the pitch, but that was an epic try-saving tackle. If he managed to just roll Farndale, and he has, that is remarkable defence from Collins and Njeri. You see, he tracks him back, backs his pace. Farndale tries to kick on, he's staying upright in his tackle, knows he's got to try and isolate the ball, goes up top, gets his legs underneath, and then rolls him onto his back. Any judo supporter or player or contestant would be so impressed with that wrap-up.
Forget about the judo supporter, every rugby supporter, every rugby player would admire that one. Scotland though on the attack. This is Johnston. Johnston with that little shimmy gets her over to Hoyland. Hoyland fell with the ball. Good defence there from Kenya, and over the top Kenya's Samuel Oliek. But it's a penalty Scott White takes. Can he get over the line here? It's Scott Riddle, and Scotland with a third try extend the lead, and it's all pressure coming on from Scotland on this Kenyan team.
Lots of pressure. When you look at pressure, people who like a breakdown, look no further than that man, Scott Riddell, the stalwart of this Scotland team. But quick play from Wright, identifying four men on the floor. He tries to get around Collins and Njeri. Once again, the strength of the man stopping him, but Scott Riddell will never be far away from a supporting line, as you saw there.
Well, I missed there. Riddle, he's just had a daughter, Isla, aged 7 weeks, so that one will be for her. Scott White, though, misses the conversion. So interesting that Scotland now 19 points to 0 up. Remember, Kenya were 17-5 down and came back to win their opening game, 22 points to 17. An indication on that graphic about just how dominant Scotland have been.
Yeah, they do like a passing game. Expect to always see a high number in that category for Scotland, but the thing is, they're converting it. They're having pressure, they're having field position, and this is the key part of their game, their restart.
Back off blue.
All back to McLennan. They've got the possession against Scotland. Remember the tackles.
Back on red.
Farndale, despite the attactions of Andrew Amondi, manages to get ball back. White on the attack for Scotland. McLennan, wide pass to Hoyland. Hoyland just steps back. You see how Scotland recycle that possession. They're noted as a passing team. They hold their structures in line well, recycling well. And look at the space here on the wide outside flank. Farndale. Defence has been good here for Kenya.
On your elbows.
But Kenya over the top of the ball. Quick tap and go then for Hugh Blake. Riddle takes the close line. Scotland flood that contact here to retain the possession, but they're holding on the ball and penalised there. So Scotland had an opportunity to get their fourth try there, but good defence came in there from Oscar Iodi with that tackle.
The reason why Kenya seem to always have an ability to come back into the game is simply down to their fitness levels. It really is quite remarkable how much they can run side to side on a very wide pitch and yet never really fatigue. They're big men, yet carry their weight around. Identify the breakdowns their strongest point. If they make sure they're winning that collision in the breakdown, then they have got a chance to come back into this game. But it's going to be a tough ask this second half.
Okay.
Well, there's Collins and Jira's parents. They're well wrapped up here. And perhaps they might see their son create Rugby Sevens history by scoring 3 more tries to become the all-time greatest try scorer on the series. Nelson Oyo is off the bench for Kenya. Well tackled there from Hoyland. Ball bounces there for Njira. Njira on the wrap. Offload there from Amondi. Amondi, one-handed pass then. This is Humphrey Kangi. This is Collins and Njira's brother. And Humphrey Kangi. This is his 100th. Oh, he gives it over. Did he give it to his brother? He was over there, Collins and Njira. His brother got the ball. So brother to brother.
What a wonderful gesture. Everyone is looking at the countdown clock. Everyone is looking to see if he can surpass Santiago Gomes-Cora with this try-scoring record. And forget any argument they may have had in their younger lives. Look at this. Amonde getting the ball out. He's been watching Fiji last week. Humphrey Kangi skirting around the outside. Can't get anywhere near on the outside. And look at this gesture. Bounce on the outside. He's such a rangy runner, so deceptive with his pace. And have this present. There we go, bro.
Wonderful. Collins and Njira then scores his 229th try. Would you believe, between the brothers, they've scored a bundle. But the half-time score then sees Scotland leading by 19 points to 7.
Let's work for each other. Come on, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
He's going to get it Humphrey. Okay, so it's just that balance. There's been a lot of good stuff, and that's why we've scored 19 points. When there is contact, there will be a hard target. As soon as they try and swamp you, fight, stay on the feet, fend anything to buy time for that support, and then we're in head height, clear the space, and we're off and running. Really good work in the restarts. We'll get another opportunity here. Let's be aggressive on it, and let's make sure we're coming up with ball.
Can we get more talk at one? Let's finish the job here.
Leave it out there, boys.
Next shot.
Next shot.
That's what we can, boys. Come on.
So the second half coming up between Scotland and Kenya. Plenty of colourful support in the stands. Here's the man of the moment, Collins Injera. He's one try short of equaling Santiago Gomez Cora's all-time record. There he is. And of course, Gomez Cora, coach of the Argentinian team. Scott White kicks off for Scotland onto that far side. Blake chases.
One is over.
Inside is Humphrey Kyange. Kyange up towards that Scotland 10-metre line. Kenya, they're a different team when ball in hand. The Iodi switches the play on that far side. Injera goes to deck. Iodi for Kenya then. The power and the pace. William Baka's on the outside. Decides to step back and come down the short route.
Time 4.
Amondi, the Kenyan skipper. Here's Kyange. Riddle with the tackle. He's the tackler, so he has the tackler's rights to play the ball. Injera switches the play. Kenya stringing their passes together. Stretching the Scotland defence. Oh, poor pass there. Bounces favourably though for Nelson Oyo. And Oyo over that 22-metre line.
Number 8, move away.
Well, Scott White was going for the ball but was penalised. Here's Injera. Injera, that overhead pass then. Iodi.
No tackle, no ruck, play on. Tackler.
Scotland have got turnover and decides to kick long.
Not sure many people will be appreciating that decision if this ball stays in field. 14 men look very, very tired as the ball trickles over slightly, but interesting concept on the turnover just to try and get field position. Yeah,
Nick McLennan just relieving that pressure and territory with that long kick downfield, and you can see how hard this Scotland team have been working in the defensive chores. Here's the turnover here. Yeah, and it's great play identifying he was a tackler. He has rights to step up and play the ball, and that was a 2-minute phase of play. You think about how often you see games of 15s running for probably 30 or 40 seconds before a whistle goes. That was 2 minutes of out and out, end to end, side to side running.
Just hold him, please.
Nick McLennan suck it in. Jamie Farndale off. Hoyland is off, and on comes Dougie Fife for Scotland and Mark Robertson. So fresh legs for Scotland off the bench, but it'll be Kenya on the 22-metre line. Collins Injera. Leaping high is his brother Humphrey Kyange. But lost it forward in that pod of 3 players. Kyange, Amondi and Baka just lost their lines of communication. They did. It's a real tactic sometimes as mum and dad look on to really identify that lineouts aren't going to be a strong point for Kenya. If you can try and play a little bit to set piece, slow their game down at times and then control the tempo yourself, and the passing game that Scotland have shown can be very good tactics. Expect it here again to see how Scotland use this set piece as a way of really getting into this Kenyan team. Well, one of the other brothers is not here. Michael Agevi used to play for the team, not part of the squad anymore. Scotland then on the attack. Glenn Bryce playing the fly half roll. Bryce well tackled there by Samuel Oliek. Ball's at the back there. Blake, can he release Mark Robertson on the outside? It was a forward pass, and Blake, well, you could see the disappointment in his face there. Difficult against the Kenyans. We mentioned how big their men are. Packing down against a buffalo, a lion and a rhino, you're always going to be struggling to get clean ball, and it's a big factor. The disruption that they can sometimes have. Quite clever how they try to shut down any option out wide, so all they want are breakdowns in the midfield, Kenya. If they have those, they've got a chance.
Set.
So back to the action. Running away with the ball is Oliek. Oliek gets the support, and look at the legs pumping of Oscar Iodi. And Iodi, well, he was tracked down. James Fleming with a tackle for Scotland. Ball recycled into Oyo on that far side. Collins and Gira in that fly half pivotal position. There's men over here if they can unlock on the outside.
Advantage, tackler.
Kenya though on that 22-metre line. It's all about possession for Kenya. But Collins and Gira held up in the contact, but Craig Joubert pinged Scotland there. Big step and go there from Samuel Oliek.
Yeah, not really play with much width. Kenya here expect to see them take contact and try and use their size, but when accuracy goes away, it's a difficult one.
Well, Mark Robertson up against William Baka there. And Robertson, can he hold his form? Has he got the footballing skills? He just needs to pick this one and get over. Try for Robertson.
Thank you.
Great delight here for Scotland as they extend their lead.
GB squad wider member Mark Robertson always tends to make an impact when he comes on the pitch. As he kicked the ball out, as a turnover happened, and 83 tries in his career shows that he's got that prowess and attacking ability. Great footballing skills as the error was made. First one's a little right foot toe poke, second one a little more tactical. He must hear the footsteps coming behind. William Baka making a formidable imprint with his hooves. And look at this pickup. Pressure again coming on. He knows he's going to get belted, but two hands, good grip, scores it well.
Scott White, the left-footed kicker. Well, like one of my golf shots has hooked that one.
I think it's a bit disrespectful for your golf there.
But a classic bit of play there from Scotland. Really being stretched in the defence, and from defence to attack, and the length of the field, and that's the way the game of sevens can flow.
It was great spirited defence, wasn't it? Fleming trekking back, the Kenyans look out on their feet. Robertson's looking pretty fresh.
Magnus Bradbury with a tackle there on Kenya. Now in Gira, what can Kenya lock on that wide outside channel? Oh, it's a loose pass, sloppy skills there. Alex Olaba couldn't take that ball. And Kenya's normal fluency, they're noted as a very physical team, Rob Vickerman, but also their passing is generally very good.
It's marked improvement from what it was, it's fair to say. It's still, with their rugby education, an area to work on. It was actually just the fact he didn't have his hands up ready for the ball. As simple as that. Something you tell, no more under 8s, under 9s, under 10s. You have to have your hands up ready for the ball, especially under fatigue, of which there is an extreme factor in a game such as sevens.
Scotland will just want to finish the set. 4 tries already. Dougie Fife caught there. Glenn Bryson, the commentator's curse, has the mistake made. There's Dougie Fife, joined the circuit, been capped at 15s level for Scotland.
Here we go. Crouch.
So coming down to the last play of the game.
Set.
Kenya will feed this at the 10-yard. Remember, points really important within the pool.
Play on foot.
France came up well against Portugal. Scotland play Portugal next match-up.
Yeah.
So there's the the full-time hooter, I should say, Robert Oringo, with that tap and go. The bright boots of Frank Wanyama. Tackle by Fleming was good. Glenn Bryson as well. And coming away with the ball is William Baka up to the 10-yard line, and Gira with that wide outside pass. Can Kenya finish strongly? Fife with a tackle on Oringo on that far outside channel.
Clear release. Penalty
coming, advantage being played, and Gira, the spin and burl by Frank Wanyama.
Clear release, Scotland.
But the penalty allows Njira to go for the quick one now. Can there be a bright spot? And Njira! Well, what a moment! He's matched Santiago Gomez Cora's try-scoring record. One more and he'll take the lead. His 230th try. And delight there from the Njira.